Look at almost any helicopter in the world, and you'll notice something sticking out from the back, a long tail. And at the very end, a spinning tail rotor. Most people assume it's there for balance, but it's actually doing something much more important. Without it, a helicopter would simply spin out of control. So how do you build a helicopter without one? And honestly, the answer is one of the smartest engineering solutions in aviation. When a helicopter's main rotor spins, it creates lift. But physics has a price. The spinning blades also create torque that tries to rotate the entire helicopter in the opposite direction. The tail rotor exists to counter that force. It pushes sideways, keeping the aircraft pointed where the pilot wants it. For decades, that design became the standard. Then, engineers asked a different question. What if we could eliminate the tail rotor completely? The result was a system known as Rotor, short for no tail rotor. Instead of using spinning blades on the tail, the helicopter uses a powerful internal fan that forces air through the tail boom. That air exits through specially designed slots, creating controlled airflow around the tail. Combined with a directional nozzle at the end of the boom, the system generates the force needed to counter the helicopter's torque. In other words, it uses air itself to do the job of a spinning rotor. And that's where the footage becomes fascinating. You see a helicopter hovering normally, taking off normally, turning normally, landing normally. Yet something looks wrong. The tail rotor is gone. Your brain expects to see spinning blades. Instead, there's nothing. It almost feels like a magic trick, but the benefits go far beyond appearance. Traditional tail rotors are exposed. They're vulnerable to damage from obstacles, debris, or accidental contact. Removing them reduces one of the helicopter's biggest safety risks. The Rotor design is also significantly quieter. That's valuable for law enforcement, rescue operations, medical flights, and missions where reducing noise is important. Maintenance can also become simpler because there are fewer exposed moving parts at the rear of the aircraft. Of course, creating the system wasn't easy. Engineers had to master airflow, pressure control, and aerodynamic behavior. Tiny changes in air movement can dramatically affect stability. Everything had to be tested repeatedly until the helicopter responded with the same precision pilots expected from traditional designs. And that's exactly what makes this technology so impressive. It doesn't solve the problem by adding another machine. It solves it by completely rethinking how helicopters work. That's often where the biggest breakthroughs happen. Not by improving the old solution, but by replacing it with a smarter one. And honestly, most people could watch a Rotor helicopter fly right over their heads without realizing they're looking at something completely different. Because the biggest innovation isn't always the easiest to see. Sometimes, it's the part that's missing.